Hi, I'm Joe Peoples, and I have to tell you, I have never had more fun doing something described as hard as 75 Hard. Yes, this program, if you've seen it, and I would totally encourage, I'm going to ask that they put a link to go check out a podcast or go to the website for 75 Hard. Check it out, because the people that have done 75 Hard, what you'll see are tons of photographs of before and after pictures of their bodies and people talking about this incredible transformation that they've gone through. And I need to be honest, I have been so reluctant at the idea of doing 75 Hard. I have a long list of reasons why, but most of them fall around the idea that when I look at things that I could do more of, what was on the list wasn't necessarily the things I felt challenged to do. However, I dove in. As a matter of fact, I dove in on February 26th, right after coming back from a cruise. I felt like what a perfect time to start. And so today I'm on day 57 or 56. I actually have a photograph of day 55. But what I want to share with what's been so fun for me has been all the opportunities I've had to decide yes or no or whether I'll go forward. And the next part that really just stands out for my absolute favorite part, why this experience has just caught me by surprise, has been through the book reading. The 10 pages per day. And so 75 Hard, everyone talks about or shows these body transformations. But what's happening for me, and I want to share this with you, is my experience with the 3 books that I have read, or I should say the 2 books I've completed and the 3rd one that I've started. And they seem to all be separate, but they connect in very nicely with the intentions around 75 Hard. 75 Hard is not just about exercise and fitness. 75 Hard is about your ability to be consistent over an extended period of time. And we all know we've had these times where things come up. Now, we could be consistent 90% of the time, 95%, but 100% is a different experience. And so let me share with you, this is the first book that I read here. Let me get it in front of the camera. Outlived by Peter Attia. And it's a book on longevity, and I won't go through all of the details, but how it connects with 75 Hard is very interesting. Peter talks about the idea of longevity. And in order for you to have success with your execution of longevity, you need to have a clear objective, a clear strategy, and tactics. Or how would we say it like this? You need to know what you want to do. You need to understand the strategy, and then you have to practice it daily. And I thought, what a fun metaphor to read this book, just to follow the 10 pages, but how it parallels exactly with what the experience is around 75 Hard. I was so lucky that when I planned out 75 Hard, I had no events in the path. I planned to be in town for the next 75 days. But shortly right afterwards, I got a call and an opportunity to go out of town. And that trip out of town happened to be St. Patrick's Day. And one of those things that you can't do during 75 Hard is drink alcohol. And I found myself intentionally, I don't know how I got there, but I was in a bar having food on St. Patrick's Day, drinking club soda. It's like each opportunity to practice the checklist associated with 75 Hard made the experience so much better. And when I think about how that relates to Peter Attia's book on longevity, having that clarity for myself as terms of the destination I wanted to reach. That's the first piece, right? Okay, the other book here, and I picked this one up. I don't know if you know Ryan Holiday, but Ryan is like Mr. Socratic method. Like everything he has that space dominated. And so Ego is the Enemy is a fun book around what happens in your mind when you're trying to achieve things. It's about how does your mind work, or your ego deal with success, and how does it deal with failure? And the fun part of 75 Hard, it appears to be opportunities for you to have both success, that accomplishment feeling when you finish the day, and then there's the aspirational moments of like, oh yes, I'm going to do this, and then there's this possibility of failure. And so far on my journey, I've had the opportunity of a cold. I caught this really bad cold, like out of the blue. I haven't had a cold since before COVID. I've given up alcohol and sugar and I got a cold, but I still needed to go out and do the walk. And it's so important when you think about how your ego can make up a reason for you not to do it. Okay. And then lastly is the third book. And the third book is called On Writing Well. This book was originally written in 1976. And Bill Zimmer, he was an English teacher, and just really about writing. But one of the things he talks about at the front of this book, and I had the good fortune, you can see I spilled a bunch of coffee on my book this morning. Matter of fact, I sit down to start my first day of this on 75 on this project, and I spilled coffee all over it. I sent her a picture so she could put it up there, all over the book. It was an opportunity to get disrupted and go, oh my gosh, my book is ruined, but I didn't. Sat down and read the rest of the pages for the day with the coffee on it. Well, why do I bring this up? The thing that he talks about on writing well is that writing is a craft. Writing is a craft. It is not an art. And you have to sit with it and be patient and go through the iterations. And I look at these 3 books and I go, I don't know how the heck I picked this. I got 3 books that all work in concert in some fashion with the whole premise of mental toughness for 75 hard. And they just illustrate the value of this idea of anything worth doing is hard work, be persistent, be okay with that. Don't get over embellished with yourself, your ego. It's taking down bigger men than you. And then the other part is a book on just longevity, where it's like, yeah, if you don't have a clear destination in mind that you define, no strategy, no tactics, life's a challenge. I want to encourage everyone to, why don't you just give it a try, 75 hard, because you may discover the experience that's special for you comes through the exercise. It could come through the reading like it has for me, or it could come through the nutrition. There's lots of different pathways, but in order for us to be our best self, to have a life worth living idea, we just have to be intentional. And these 3 books were really fun to see how they correlated with this. And I love to hear more people have some fun with 75 hard, because it's just an amazing experience. Although I never wanted to drink a gallon of water a day, but soon it'll be over. So what I want to encourage is that you give 75 hard a try. See how it can impact your life, and you can become a new version of yourself just by doing 5 simple things for 75 days.